What's up, players? Today I'd like to show you 5 essential patterns that you absolutely need in your repertoire for neo soul. These are the perfect building blocks for interesting and tasty licks. After we get familiar with each of these patterns, I'll also show you this dope guitar solo exercise that I put together for this lesson. This incredibly special double stop workout puts together all the building blocks and is a perfect workout for you if you want to master this style of guitar. So let's stop with this chit chat and get jamming it up. Now before we get into this really dope double stop exercise that I put together for you, let's check out each important pattern in detail, and let's start with this first basic pattern right here. Now quickly, before we continue, remember you can play this in any key as long as you're familiar with this main pentatonic shape, but all of today's examples will be in the key of C minor, where the root is on the 8th fret right here with the low E string. The basic idea of this pattern is to pluck 2 strings at once. It sounds best when you use all downstrokes and give it a bit of a palm mute. Now the trick to getting a good tone is to not palm mute too hard, especially with the clean tone, because it's easy to make the pitch difficult to hear with a strong palm mute like this. So I bring my palm back, and I could hear a little bit more of the notes. Now I usually bar the lower notes and use my 3rd and 4th finger for the higher notes. Now always make sure that your bar is even and strong. It's way too easy to bar incorrectly and is more difficult than you think. So be sure to give it proper consideration to make sure that your notes are coming out strong. Now this is the basic pattern to start with, and of course it gets really exciting when we start combining all the different patterns together. You will definitely see the potential in all of this as we continue to learn all these patterns, so let's vibe on the next one. This one is an extension of the first example, but also illustrates how we can incorporate the blues scale with double stops. Now the trick to this example is the blues slides. Like I said earlier, we want a light palm mute throughout our double stops, but we can't really palm mute over a slide because otherwise we just wouldn't really hear the notes that well. So we gotta let that palm mute out right when we're sliding. Another common problem that prevents these slides from sounding clean and clear is making sure the first note in the slide is fretted properly. As I'm sliding from the 11th fret to the 10th fret, I want to make sure that I could hear the 11th fret and the 10th fret. It's very easy to play a grace note like this and never practice them slowly to get the right technique, so be sure to take your time with this. And of course, our solos can already start to sound magical when we combine the first 2 ideas. We'll vibe on more dope and practical licks like that later on when we check out the guitar solo part, but all I did to get that lick was put together both ideas while thinking of pentatonic or blues ideas. Now let's check out the next pattern. So for this one, we're going slightly outside of our main pentatonic pattern and using the extended box right here. These patterns connect nicely and smoothly and help bring us up the guitar neck. One thing to watch out for as we get to the higher strings is they can be tricky to palm mute, so you need to give them a light touch with your palm, but also I find I need to move my palm over to evenly mute the high strings as well. Take your time finding the right feel so you can hear the notes, but not mute them to the point where there's no pitch, like this. So I gotta bring my hand back and start to hear the pitch, and that's exactly the sweet spot that I want to find. As always, you can follow along this lesson with interactive tabs, get the jam tracks used in this lesson, and download PDF tabs at patreon.com/nastysoul. Also, you can download the brand new double stop lick package. This comes with a bunch of amazing double stop licks and PDF tabs that help you get a jump start into applying these licks in your solos today. The Double Stop Lick package is available for all Patreon supporters, as well as other exclusive courses that are sure to give your progress a huge boost, so you'll be sounding even smoother and tastier than ever. All right, let's move on to pattern number 4. Okay, that's like the exact same pattern, isn't it? Well, here's the cool thing about guitar. It is the same pattern, but the notes and harmonies that come from this position are different. So although our fingers are doing the same thing, the sound is quite different. It's as simple as finding the A string root of the pentatonic scale. So in the key of C, the root note is on the 3rd fret of the A string. And that is where we find and use this other pattern. So now that we've managed to cover most of the guitar neck with this simple little move, here's our first pattern, and then we add the new pattern, and we basically got the whole guitar neck to move across with these double stop moves. Before we move to the final amazing pattern and the dope guitar solo exercise, I gotta share this crazy fact with you. It appears that 70% of you amazing people are not subscribed to this channel yet, which means you're probably missing the video that could completely change your guitar playing and take you to the next level. So join this nasty community to show your commitment to laying down the smoothest sounding guitar vibes in your neighborhood. Alright, let's hit this last pattern. So this is a different approach to double stops that creates a cool sound as we move across the neck. The focus is on hammer-ons and pull-offs, and remember, the bar must be down strong the whole time as you do this hammer-on and pull-off move, otherwise the notes won't come out as clearly. Now it's a bit tricky to change keys with this pattern, but start by visualizing the 2 pentatonic scales we've used so far. We have this one right here on the A string that we could kick it up an octave, and see that pattern right there, and then we move on down to the 8th fret where we have our main pattern right there. Now after you see that, you should be able to piece together the other parts. Take your time to find the right notes whenever you do switch keys, and of course, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Alright, now the real magic starts when we start to combine these different ideas and are able to develop our own unique licks from each idea. So I've developed a really dope double stop guitar solo exercise that's really fun to play, and it combines all the different patterns we talked about today. So let's check this out together. This example is great to practice because it includes all the ideas. You can work on getting the right palm muted tone for your double stops, connecting the patterns, playing smooth slides, and working out your strong hammer-on and pull-off licks. You can slow down and loop this example with interactive tab at patreon.com/nastysoul. You can also download the brand new double stop lick package to add even more ideas to your repertoire and have access to the backing track used in this lesson to help with applying these ideas into your own solos. Leave a like if you learned something today, and don't forget to subscribe to finally join this amazing community we have right here on YouTube. And if you have any questions about this, just drop it in the comments and I'll hit you up. I hope you have a blast working on this stuff. I hope to see you again real soon. Until next time, keep jamming and stay nasty.